This is a vlog of my travel to Kumaon, from Almora to Dharma Valley, and a few interesting places in between. I did this some time ago, but had not been able to document this in the form of a vlog. The first day started early, as is usually the case with me for my journeys, be it to the hills or to any destination. As I was traveling solo, however, I started really early, at around 3 in the morning, as against 5 or 6, when traveling with family. The destination for today was to reach Kasar Devi near Almora, as I had to meet my friend Pavitra, who was my travel companion for the rest of this trip. Kasar Devi is one location that I have been coming to frequently to meet him, over the years. This is one place which is relatively untouched by the tourist crowd, largely because there is nothing much to do here apart from the Kasar Devi temple. I reached Kasar by noon, as even with breaks and leisurely driving, one can cover the distance in 9 hours, including breaks for tea and breakfast. We decided to leave for Munsyari the next day as I wanted to spend a day at Kasar and meet a few people there. There are 2-3 routes from Almora to reach Munsyari. 2 of them are via Bageshwar. One through Kapkot, which leads to the Pindari and Kafni glacier treks, and the other through Chokori, which is also a beautiful tourist destination. However, due to the ongoing road works between Almora and Bageshwar, we chose to take the third route, which leads to Chokori via Barichina and Berina. More reliable route. This also gave us an opportunity to have lunch at the Udyari Bend near Chokori, a preferred spot for us as there are a couple of good restaurants here. The mutton thali is a must-have for non-veg lovers. The route then goes through the villages of Thal onwards to Birthi waterfalls, where we typically stop for tea and lunch depending on the time of reaching there. There is a marked change in the road quality once you start driving in the border roads sections, who maintain and develop these roads to provide connectivity throughout the year. We ended up reaching by nightfall, after a 7-hour total journey, a good time considering the stops taken. Munsyari has been a mandatory stop for me over the years, as in spite of the development which has happened in the town, it has still retained its old world charm. It also provides a good acclimatization for traveling further in the region. We have stayed at KMVN and hotels in the past, but decided to stay at a local homestay this time. Normally, one gets enough accommodation in the town, even in peak season, and can choose from multiple options, based on preferences. I personally prefer homestays over hotels as they provide a chance to experience the local hospitality and food options, which I believe are also safer and more wholesome over hotel food. We started on the next leg of our journey the next day, after an early morning breakfast, with home-cooked parathas and local vegetables. After spending some time at the local market to pick up some supplies, we went to visit Mahisar Kund, a small lake near the town. It's located on the route to Khalia Top from Munsyari, but one should be aware that it has a very small gate as its entry, which is very easy to miss. We parked the car at the gate and set off for the lake. The lake is a short 1.5 hour hike, and we were fortunate with some good weather. Although, having done the Kalia top earlier, it may prove to be a disappointment for some. But if you want to do a short hike near Munsyari, this could be a good option and an alternative to Kalia, if it feels too much for you. Our initial plan was to spend some time in and around Munsyari, Milam and Leelam, but at the suggestion of Pavitra, we decided to proceed towards Dharchula and specifically try to reach the Narayan Swami Ashram. So, this was an impromptu change of plan and we thought might as well go ahead with it. The route from Munsyari to Dharchula is a lesser known and lesser travelled one and provides some unique sights. We crossed some beautiful waterfalls and spent some time en route before we reached Joljibi, our point for lunch. I would recommend that it's better to push on to Dharchula for food as there are limited options at Joljibi. From Dharchula, we moved onwards to Narayan Swami Ashram. It was already nearing evening, and I am not a very big fan of driving at night, but we didn't have any option and decided to give it a try after checking with locals about the route. The road to the ashram was not available on Google Maps yet, maybe because of the virtually non-existent traffic here, but it has now been updated. One has to take a left from Tawaghat and cross the Dhauli Ganga power project first. Till Tawaghat, the road goes along the Sarda river, which also serves as the border to Nepal. Beyond Dharchula, mobile networks don't work or are available sporadically. Pavitra did have a GeoSIM, which was working to a large extent, so one can keep that in mind. We stopped for an evening tea and for asking directions near a bridge at Kanchoti waterfall. One has to take a right to the bridge instead of going straight, which would otherwise lead to the Dharma Valley. We gave lift to a local whose village was on the way, which turned out to be a good decision as he was also able to guide us ahead. At the time, we thought that the road condition was pretty good considering the remoteness of the location. We reached Narayan Ashram at around 8 at night, just in time for dinner. We decided to call it a night, given the long day and the travel plans ahead.